Hey, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk about one of the biggest investing mistakes I made when I first started investing, and that was not opening up a Roth IRA and keeping it simple by investing in the S&P 500. When I first started investing, honestly, I was more focused on investing in a taxable brokerage account. I listened to a lot of financial YouTubers that were sharing that they had success picking individual stocks and investing in a taxable brokerage account. From the people that I was hanging around and talking about personal finance with, they all ridiculed taxable brokerage accounts, such as, or not taxable brokerage accounts, like regular retirement accounts like Roth IRAs and like 401ks. And they kind of advised like going the taxable brokerage account. And that's honestly where so much of the trouble I ran into occurred when it came to investing. And when I look back, like I'm 28 and I started working when I was 18. Had I just invested in the S&P 500 and done it in a Roth IRA, I would have so much money tucked away for retirement that I wouldn't have to be playing like catch up, right? And I feel like I'm playing catch up because it was only until like a couple years ago like that I really started investing in, tax advantage retirement accounts, because so much of what I was focused on was picking individual stocks. Like I really thought that, I could be that unicorn, that person that could just beat the market by, doing due diligence and researching individual stocks to be able to pick from. And, I was falling for clickbait, YouTube videos where, people are hyping up like individual plays that they had success in. And, I think just because I'm more of like a stubborn, like kind of personality type person, and, I'm the kind of person that wants to figure out how to do things on my own, it was easy for me to fall prey to investing in just in a bad like way, right? Like for anybody that's first starting out their journey, the easiest thing is just open up a Roth IRA because it's tax advantage, meaning the returns that you get inside of your Roth IRA are tax free. And then when you withdraw it at retirement, that's going to be tax free as well. For most people, if they just kept it simple with trying to max out their Roth IRA and investing in the S&P 500, they'd be getting good returns on a yearly basis. But where most people go wrong, just like I went wrong, is you try to pick individual stocks, you invest in taxable brokerage accounts, you have too much easy access to the money in it. Then you end up like selling stuff for losses because you see the market's down. You don't really know what you're doing, and you're taking all these, tax hits because like you're selling. You're taking the money out so that you could use it for everyday expenses because you don't have enough money put in like, savings. And this is just a common trap that a lot of people fall into. And I fell prey to it myself, right? And so looking back, like if I could have done things over, I would have just kept it simple with the S&P 500 in a Roth IRA because of the tax advantages and because the money's essentially going to be locked away unless I like take a penalty, right? And I pay a penalty on it. Um, but I likely wouldn't have done that, right? And I started investing in my Roth IRA and I maxed it out in the year of 2024. I tried to make some contributions last year. Um, because me and my wife make too much money combined, like I actually had to withdraw the money from the contributions that I put in. I put in about $2,180 in last year, and I'm gonna have to do this process to like transfer it over to a traditional IRA because I'm not able to contribute to a Roth IRA because our combined income puts us over the limit. And that's why when I'm looking back too, I'm like, damn, like if I would have just done a lot of this stuff when I was single, like during my early like working years and just strive to like invest in the S&P 500 and then max out the account, I would have had so much in a Roth IRA account of just my own. And then when I'm in the situation that I'm in right now, where, me and my wife make too much, then I can, focus on different type of retirement plans, etc. And there's some options right now for us to be able to still get, Roth contributions, but it's a little bit of a different approach that I'd have to take, and I'll make a future video just on that. But I think there's so many young people that are in this space where, you're trying to get quick money, you're trying to prove that you can invest like on your own, you're listening to just nonsense from different like financial gurus and people online that say that you can beat the market, and you don't want to have all your money locked up in a traditional retirement account, all these different kind of like paths. And it's really bad financial advice. Like the simplest thing that you can do is today just open up a Roth IRA account, keep it simple by putting your money in the S&P 500, and you will thank your future self in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now. And Like that's probably like the best like financial advice that you can kind of get. You don't got to pay for financial advisors. You don't got to figure out what the best kind of like stocks are. And what's interesting is because like the S&P 500 in particular also is like so heavily weighted by like tech. If like you want exposure to tech, like the S&P 500 has been bringing serious gains because the top 7 companies or the top like 7 to 10 companies that are weighted in the S&P 500 are carrying like the market, right? And they're carrying that like, fund. And so honestly, people can get good returns in that and then just, let their money ride and let it grow like tax free. And that's honestly where I think a lot of people will be able to get good success when they first start like investing. But if you're new to investing, don't be like me. Like this video is your sign to, open up that Roth IRA if you've been thinking about it. Figure out how you can contribute the max amount. I think right now it's 7,500 is like the annual amount that you can contribute to that account. But if you can do that and just be consistent with that for a few years, in 5, 7, 10, 15 years, you're going to have like a sizable retirement account. And then you're not going to be like this demographic of people that are on their post years when it comes to like working and are stressing because they don't have enough money like in the retirement account, right? You don't want to be like in that space, but it's easy to get into that space when you're investing in taxable brokerage accounts and you're withdrawing the money so fast because a life event happens or you're selling at a loss because you're worried about like this individual like stock that you're kind of like picking and it's just bad. Like most people should, taxable brokerage accounts and like individual stock picking and that whole kind of space should be like the last thing that you're doing investing. Like for most people, 401ks, Roth IRAs, HSAs, investing in diversified like ETFs or like funds is going to be the best way because the game is like investing. Like the game is to get your money to compound and to grow. It's not to be in and out of like different plays and taking more kind of like risky like bets. Like that's not how most people accumulate wealth. Like a lot more people can accumulate wealth by taking a more conservative kind of approach and doing it in tax advantage ways. And that's what I wish I would have done, man. I think about it like I had a coworker that I used to work with, and I was talking about it with my best friend. We used to work at the company together, but we're thinking about it, man. Like we used to kind of like turn away this coworker that was like took pride in like the Roth IRA, and we were talking to him like he's invested in a boomer account and doesn't really know what he's doing, and this was like several years ago when we're working together, and we're joking about it a little while ago, and just thinking back like man, like growing up is realizing like that kid was like on the right path and we were just stupid, like we were dumb, like we thought we could invest better and we're doing it in a smarter way, but in hindsight, like it was just an ignorant, like dumb way. And if we knew what we knew now, like back then, like we would have signed up for Roth IRAs just like him and just kept the money in a diversified like ETF and just look at the money compound. And I'm curious, like that for that coworker, like his account's probably good because this was like 7 or 8 years ago when when I when we were kind of like working with him, and I'm like, man, if he just continue that pace and just continue like the focus of maxing out that account, like he's probably got some good returns right now. Because I think at the time he had like 20, 30 grand like in that account. So whatever it is now, like it's probably close to 6 fig, if not for sure over. Um, and he took a very conservative approach, but at that time again, dumb young, thought we knew what we were doing. And a lot of people are in that space. Like a lot of people think that they can beat the market, but they can't. And a lot of people are investing in suboptimal kind of accounts. Taxable brokerage accounts are like again the last account that you should invest in because there's so many tax advantage accounts that you can actually invest in and protect your money and grow your wealth. So that's it for today's video. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I'm going to continue to be dropping daily videos, just documenting kind of my thought process on different financial things I'm going through, lessons learned, different wins, portfolio updates, sharing mindset, tips that I've like developed and have grown to be able to build my career. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn if you want. I have a link connected to my channel so you can see what I do professionally for work and just kind of my background and how I've got to where I'm at today. So hope you enjoy the video. Have a good day. Take care.